Mariachi podcast may contain episodes with adult themes and language. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Hola, amigo todos. Bienvenido al Mariachi Podcast. Bienvenido todos mis amigos. Everybody, welcome to Mariachi Podcast. I am your host, Javier Rodriguez. I'm glad to be here. Este episodio, tenemos un invitado muy especial, a mi amigo, que he conocido varios años, que resida en Houston. Él es director de un gran mariachi, el Mariachi Imperial de América de Houston, Texas, y también es reconocido como uno de los mejores directores en las escuelas públicas en Houston y también es director del mariachi de la universidad. He's the director, the head director of the mariachi program in the University of Houston Cougars. Y let's welcome and give him a big round of applause. Un aplauso bien fuerte para mi amigo y director, Jose Longoria.
Gracias.
Mr. Jose, how are you doing, sir? Un aplauso para
I'm good. Gracias.
Thank you, sir. How you been, Mr. Jose?
We've been doing great. Gracias a Dios. Just continuing to do the work of que nos dejó Diosito y mi abuelo, mi papá.
Yes, sir.
Continuing the legacy that they left us and sharing it with the youth y pues con todos los que quieran, ¿verdad?
Qué bueno, maestro. That's good. It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Si te acuerdas, my first shot at this mariachi podcast back in 20, I believe 18 or 19, I visited Houston.
Wow.
¿Te acuerdas? Ahí todavía tengo. Back then, el mariachi podcast was just audio, era puro audio y no tenía la tecnología que tengo ahorita. Pero gracias a Dios ya se levantó esto y aquí andamos un poquito, ¿verdad? Agarrando vuelo. Back then was just an audio podcast, right? And now we have visual. They can see you, you're live streaming. Times have changed, brother. Y me da mucho gusto tenerte aquí en el Mariachi Podcast, Mr. Jose Longoria. Thank you for the agarrar la invitación, for accepting my invitation. So, pues comencemos,
Javier,
Mr. Jose, ¿verdad? Dime, ¿cómo te has sentido?
A ti, gracias. Pues nos sentemos bien, como te digo, ¿qué prefieres, inglés o español? ¿Qué hacemos?
It's Spanglish, brother. It's Spanglish. So, venga, inglés y español.
Spanglish, órale, ya está.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
Pues mira, como te digo, continuando la tarea que nos dejó mis papás, mis abuelos y esto, ahora ya tengo a mis hijos que también tocan y están estudiando el mariachi, entonces es algo muy bonito. Continuamos trabajando con los estudiantes, alumnos del futuro, también con los muchachos que el Mariachi Imperial, también tenemos el Mariachi Pumas de la Universidad de Houston. Y pues ahorita recientemente ya tenemos como unos 6 meses con el grupo nuevo de las Chabelitas, un grupo nuevo de puras mujeres. So,
wow.
Nos mantenemos algo ocupados y mi esposa, pues gracias a ella también que nos apoya, porque es difícil estar casado con un mariachi, ¿no?
Sí,
es bastante, pero nos encanta el apoyo.
Qué bueno, brother. Me da mucho gusto que estés thriving, ¿verdad? Estás teniendo mucho éxito con esos programas. Mirando tu resume, mirándote atrás I went in and snuck into your bio in the University of of Houston's website, and I see that there's a big or something very special that as soon as they hit your bio, that that caught my attention. And I think you've told them this before, but I just wanted to bring it out to todos los que nos escuchan en el Mariachi Podcast. So you've been all around the world with your group, from Houston to Armenia. You played in Japón, I believe, right? Can you can you give us more insight into
China.
that? In China, okay.
Yes.
So how was that? How was that experience, brother?
Pues mira, just to go back and give some context, mariachi has always been beautiful and the traditional, un poquito, hasta el inglés, right?
Sí.
But one day, you remember what inspired me was when Mariachi Vargas came out with the Japanese song, and they got a chance to go to Japan and perform there.
Yes, sir.
I was super inspired by that, and I was like, man, I wish I could do something similar to that. Maybe not Japan, but somewhere else. So
Yes, sir.
I started kind of like a research, and pues aquí hay muchos Chinese buffets, right?
Yes, sir.
Y dije, man, everybody goes to the Chinese. So I enjoyed the Chinese, and that's where I can make. I latched onto that, and I would go eat at the Chinese buffet, and I would say, hey, can you list me two or three famous popular songs? And no, hombre, pues cada ratito iba a los chinos, me empecé a gain even more weight, pero
That's
era
funny,
parte
man.
del jale.
Yes, sir.
Pero they were very nice, the waitresses and stuff, and I got to do like a little survey, and there was a couple of numbers that came out similarly, and I looked them up, and in that time I was working on our I think it was our second album,
Yes, sir.
and so we did it, and I just started learning it by phonics, and I did the musical arrangement of mariachi,
Wow.
and I so we then I would start singing it at the Chinese, and in my wife, she'd like, she was like, if you sing that song one time, I'm leaving you here. But man, she
That's
was so
funny.
patient, but
Yeah.
I had to do it,
Yes,
porque
sir.
it was like it's trial and error. Goes, oh my god, you know that song? They were
Yes,
super
sir.
surprised. So that's when I knew that it was a popular song. So that being said, I recorded it, and I'm like, okay, how do I get to China with this song,
Right.
right? So there is a Chinese community center that I went to go visit, and her name is Nine Min Cheng, and she's like, hey, can I? I call her, can I make a meeting with you? And she goes, yeah, and so I go, look, I have this song that I recorded, Estilo Mariachi, and I have my mariachi band, blah blah blah. Can you hear it? So she plays it. Goes, oh wow, she was so impressed and stuff, and she goes, look, I can't help you immediately to get to China, but
Wow.
there's a Chinese New Year coming up, so why don't you come
Oh.
perform two songs? You come perform a mariachi song, and then you can perform the Chinese song. Okay, cool. So 2 months later, we show up, and we get on stage. And before we get on stage, había puros nothing but Chinese people. So they're looking at us in our mariachi suits and like, who are these
Who
guys,
are
right?
these
Like
guys?
we
They're
were,
lost. Se
you
perdieron, brother.
they don't look like they're gonna do the dragon dance or anything like that, right?
That's funny.
So man, it was our time to go on stage. Hey, Mariachi Imperial, and people were clapping out of courtesy.
Yes. Yeah.
No,
Of course.
it
Of
was an
course.
excitement. So we like da 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 da, la son de la negra, y se acabó. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, we're gonna play a special number for you guys, blah blah blah. Because everybody just performed one or two numbers, and that was it. It was short because they had a lot of performance. So we just started playing this song, and I kid you not, I was watching people, the reaction, and people were crying. So this
Wow.
song was like, after we performed, man, people were on their feet, and it was just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
So they really deeply appreciated this song, and I kind of changed it up to say like it's like hearing a Chinese person sing El Rey or Volver Volver, like
Right.
there's an appreciation of that culture, between each other. So I think they were able to say,
Wow,
wow, he
man,
took the
that
time
is
to,
good. You were able to hook up the ¿cómo se llaman las culturas?
yeah,
You were able
las
to,
culturas,
yeah, that so they appreciated that igual sembrando la
yeah,
raíz del mariachi. That
yeah,
must have
yes.
been a wonderful
So
experience. Ah, that's so nice, man.
yeah. Well, after that, about a year later, we
Uh huh.
actually got a call from the Mexican embassy, and I don't know,
Really?
somehow they found out, and the word got out, and man, we got a chance to go in 2007 for the first time to
Wow,
Beijing, and we played
man.
at the Mexican consulate in Beijing. It was huge, man. It was
Qué
ahí
bonito,
empezamos
brother.
with,
That's an experience. No cualquier
yeah.
mariachi, right? I mean, it's just, I mean, it's right. It's a big hill to climb to get to China. Y
It
especialmente,
was
yeah. So
it
that's
was
good,
kind of
Mr.
like the Mexican Martin Luther King. I have a dream, so and it came true. So
That's
I think
awesome.
in essence, it's if you set your mind to do something and you really work for it and just keep at it. It didn't happen right away, so maybe a year and a half later we got the opportunity, but just believe in what you do.
That's good, brother. Qué bonito este testimonio y algo que quedó siempre en el recuerdo de ti
Yes.
y tus muchachos. Going back, brother, let's talk about your beginnings, right? I always, when I use in my podcast is to find out the person from in depth. ¿Verdad? So
Mm.
tell us, what was the? Do you remember your first note when you picked up your instrument? ¿Qué dijiste? This, I'm in love with this. What was the first instrument you picked up?
Well, the first instrument I picked up was a vihuela,
Okay.
and I was about 7 years old. One of my uncles, he played trumpet. He lived with us, and hey, ahí te va esta vihuela para que aprendas. And sure enough, man, that's my first instrument. The cassette player, ponía ahí playing,
Yes.
just practice whatever salía ahí. And then maybe about 6 or so months later, my dad said, "Hey, vente porque necesitamos un vihuelero. The vihuelero got sick." So can you imagine like an 8-year-old going to go do 3 hours? No, hombre, después de 2 horas me quedé bien dormido en un cuarto
Wow.
ahí, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 1 in the morning or something. So, but that was my first gig, first gig. But those
Wow.
was the beginning, and I took solfeo with a professional mariachi musician that came. Se llamaba Mi Wen, and that was like in the '80s, early '80s when I was first like 8 years old, and I solfege was for my first things, and then I didn't start gigging until about I was 9. My
Hmm.
dad took us, my brother and I, who's 1 year younger, so those were our first steps.
Wow, brother. I got some pictures, and we'll go down the road. We'll check them out, and you can give us more depth, in depth about your también tu papá, your brothers, your siblings. As I understand,
Sure,
your
sure.
brothers, yeah, right. They play. They have mariachi, right? They have their own mariachi, and
Hmm.
igual,
Yeah.
todos son músicos pesados. They're awesome, brother. They're
Comemos bastante.
I meant musical wise.
Okay, okay.
Musicalmente, Mr. Longoria. No, no, that's good, brother.
No,
So
no, that's
moving
good.
along, right? So the city of Houston, I saw también declared July 19th, which is coming up, brother. Jose Longoria Day.
Órale.
How did that feel receiving that kind of recognition in your community?
No.
Man,
Well, you can imagine, somebody, the way that happens is somebody from the city, they find somebody who has influence. And that's what it was Jose Longoria because they felt that I had reached out to the community through mariachi and bringing cultures together. So that was, man, I was speechless, and I was very honored to have received that. I didn't expect a Jose Longoria Day, maybe
right,
like a certificate or something, right?
right.
But no, that was super cool. The mayor was gave a special recognition in the city hall, and it was just a wonderful experience.
That's great, brother. No, pues me imagino que tu trayectoria en el mariachi you influenced, and of course, the city picks up on that y ve, and you were recognized for that day. So is it like in Houston? Is it known, or is it just in the community? Right, I would imagine. Or cómo está esa cosa? How does that play?
It Well, when you get an accolade like that,
Uh huh.
you get a chance to, like, if let's say, if, for example, I wanted to do like a mariachi festival of my
Ah,
own.
okay, okay.
I think that the city can probably be more supportive since you've
That makes
been
sense.
involved with the community. I
That makes
haven't
sense.
done it yet. I do want to do something like for it's still in my plans. I don't want to
Yeah.
forget about it, but I
No,
want to
no,
do
no.
like a Santa Cecilia Day,
Yes.
where the mariachis can come. That's something that I really have in my mind. But was one thing or another, I veces no se hace because just, oh my god, it just gets so busy.
I know, brother. Igual como las chambas que tienes ahorita, and then dealing with something else that you have to put on top of that. Me imagino que
Yeah.
se hace un poco difícil. So, do you guys, en la comunidad de mariachis in Houston, tienen el Día de Santa Cecilia? Do you guys, everybody join and meet and join forces and go to do y'all have a Santa Cecilia parish in Houston? I'm pretty sure you do, right?
There is a parish called Santa Cecilia, but there
No.
is not involved. So,
Okay.
so the mariachis here, if you're from Houston, it's there's an neighborhood called Magnolia,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is in the
Familiar.
southeast part of
Hmm.
Houston. Actually, we did our last
Yeah.
podcast there. Ahí cerquitas. In esa área, there's a church. It's called Sagrado Corazon. de Maria.
Yes.
And the reason why they started doing it there because there was a father, by the way, saludos al Padre Miguel, who's been in the community, oh my God, for almost 40 years.
Nice.
Y él nos celebraba la misa. We do a parade like maybe about a mile away. Se juntaban los mariachis, and so that was something cool. Unfortunately, things have changed. You know, some of the mariachi members and from the old school ones have passed away, and we have new members. Y pues desafortunadamente a veces no se une mucho uno ya quizás por el trabajo o X, whatever.
Right.
So ya hace falta un poquito más organización. That's what it is. A lot of it's very difficult to take leadership and for someone else to respond to that leadership.
Right.
So it's been difficult to todavía se hace. Don't get me wrong, se hace, pero no va mucha gente así como antes. Pero you know existe todavía.
Yes, sir.
Pero I think the communities were not as tight as we
I
should be. A lot
see.
muchos
Okay.
y hay muchos nuevos que no nos conocemos. No es por nada, pero no nos conocemos. So there hasn't been that
Wow.
conocimiento de
So now that you
convivio.
mentioned that, do you have a booming mariachi? I guess you can say que crecen los mariachis. In other words, they get out of high school or college and they start their group. Do you have an influx of that happening in Houston? Because here in Dallas, it's booming a lot. Actually, se sale mucho de la
Ah,
universidad,
right.
o de la misma, perdón, del high school, de la prepa, and they start their
Mm-hmm.
group. So here in Dallas, hay muchos nuevos mariachis, right? So do you see that in Houston?
Oh yeah, we see that, and it's a good thing, you know.
Right.
Um, the first thing is I actually have students that were former students of mine when I was teaching
Okay.
at Patrick Henry's. I mean, y todavía están conmigo, ya tienen unos 8 10 años, but they have the careers, you know. They
Right.
went through middle school, high
Right.
school,
Right.
college with me, and then now they have the professions and they work professionally with me. So
Wow.
or
That.
have moved on to other groups. So it's something really cool because you know, I always tell my students when I was teaching, I think I'm not here to teach you how to be a mariachi, but if
Right.
that's something that you aspire to do, hey, dale, you have a
Right.
backup plan if you don't go to college or whatever, and you can always do it whenever you want. Just do it right, just do it with the best of your ability.
Right.
So that's what I always kind of recommend to the students. Pero si hay de todo, and um, you know, I mucho trabajo with others. The only thing that I could say, and I always say this because a lot of the times in muchos de los the professional mariachis that do this for life
Mm-hmm.
for a living,
Yeah.
they get a little bit discouraged and they're not patient because you know I've lived both worlds. You know,
Les
I
quitan del
started
plato. That's what you're
mariachis.
trying to say. I'm pretty sure. I already
No,
know where you're
no,
going, bro.
no, no, no,
No?
no. What I'm just trying to say is like they're not prepared to be professional yet.
I
El
see.
repertorio,
I see
if you
what you're
would.
saying. Okay.
That's what I was talking about. So you know,
Okay.
when I started mariachi, I started like when I was 9. So I was doing talon. You know what talon is? Just you
Oh,
go.
man.
I was
Yeah.
doing. I was playing in cantina. So I
Yeah.
mean, it was
La
you.
escuela vieja.
Te
Old school.
echaban
That's where,
la
yeah.
escuela vieja
Yeah.
all the way through
Yeah.
high school,
Yeah.
and so we don't do that now. Well, we have to teach us curriculum,
Yes.
how to read music.
Right.
So you only have a very limited time to teach repertoire. You know, so the rest by ear, también, you know, you can
Mm-hmm.
only do that in talon or if somebody gives you an opportunity to play in a professional group. So that's a struggle there. But if I firmly believe when you give these youth some time, if they
Mm-hmm.
have talent, they'll give them a year and so and with guidance, con guía, con guidance,
Right.
they're fine.
Wow, well, that's pretty good. So that leads me to my
Patience.
next question. That leads me to my next question. So now that you're leading the mariachi program at the University of Houston, right? What do you hope for students to take away beyond the music itself? I know you kind of laid it, but now we're talking about the university. I'm pretty sure que cuando entran ahí, I don't want to, jump the gun here. Sí van al mariachi program para salir maestros de mariachi, or they want to be, engineers, doctors, and stuff like that.
Well, that's a great question. So, you believe it or not, 90% of our
Hmm.
students that are in Mariachi Pumas are non-music majors.
Wow.
So that's really unique. So what does this mean? This means that these students come probably either from a mariachi background where they came from a program, or they are classically trained, but we teach them to play the style. And they want to we've had optometrists, construction management, psychologists, de todo, you name it, engineers,
Right.
doctors. So these students, they just want to be part of something that is part of their culture, right? Even though
Yes.
they're ahorita tenemos, we have about 2 to 3 African American students and a couple of white students,
Wow, that's pretty
which
cool.
I hope that continues,
Sí,
because we
obviamente.
want to make sure that this is for everybody. It's not
Yes.
just for you have to be Hispanic. So alongside with that, these students that participate in this, it might be a motivation too, but we award them with $1,000 scholarship per semester, and they have
Oh,
to
wow.
perform, gotta come to performance and rehearsal. So that's a must that they need to come with.
Wow,
So
man.
that being said,
Yes, sir.
the other side is the students that wanna they come straight to the Moore School of Music, 'cause that's the name of our music school, Moore School of Music. If they enroll there and they're classically, we don't offer a mariachi certification yet, so we don't have that, but we just share it as part of. We do have the mariachi program,
Right.
but they can also, like, for example, teach during their career. They can
Right.
also, like, tutor or something. But for example, last couple of semesters ago, one of our students, who was a fine violinist y todo, and he got his degree in political science,
Wow.
but has the mariachi, so then no
Yeah.
encontraba trabajo, and I told him, hey, there's a mariachi opening, and
Oh,
you should
wow.
do it.
Yeah.
And he took it in, man. They gave him the job, and all he had to do
Wow.
was go through the alternative certification,
There you
took
go.
his test,
I know
passed
about
it,
a Turner certification.
and now he's a full-time mariachi director doing well. And
Wow,
so
man.
there's not just one formula. So
Right,
there's
right.
different opportunities and different options for everybody. So, but through the mariachi, I think it helps to enjoy the college life a little bit more too.
Right. So let me ask you this, Maestro. Is it an accredited class? Do you get credit for that class?
So the
Ah,
ensemble is a credit class. It's a one credit semester,
okay.
for a semester. Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay, man. Eso está interesante how, some come in and they're not looking for, the majoring in music, but they still take it and they pick that, put it in
Yeah.
their tool bag. And if they're struggling for any reason out in the real world, they look for a group. Hey, sé leer, sé
That's right.
cantar, sé
Yeah.
vente. That's honestly lo que
That's
muchos,
right.
bueno, igual mi grupo, we'd like to, get those type of students that que or ex students that que
Mhm.
sepan leer música and they know what
Right.
mariachi is about. So that's very interesting, Maestro. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Claro.
So moving along, so the creative process and vision, right? So are there any contemporary artists or genres that you love to collaborate within a mariachi fusion project?
So, interesting story. In 2019, I started the mariachi there. So they're like, "Hey, can you start a part time?" Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
So I was doing middle school, high school, and the college for 3 years. And then on my second year, the his name is conductor Dr. Franz Krager, who is the conductor of the orchestra at U of
Hmm.
H. He's like, hey, we're having a 10-year anniversary, because he also does outside. It's called Virtuosi Youth Group with high school. He goes, I'd love to do this song that we did about 10 years ago, and we're doing our anniversary, and that was one of the hits. So I would love for you to see if you can do it. I'm like, oh man. So that was like kind of the takeoff of our one of the fusions that I, playing with
Right.
the orchestra.
That is
The
cool.
following year,
Yeah.
we did it at the TMEA. If you're familiar with it, is the
Right.
biggest conference, teacher conference here in the our part of the United States, in San Antonio, and we got the opportunity to perform together during the TMEA as a display in front of all the teachers. And
Right.
oh my God, that was iconic.
Yeah.
The special thing about that day, the dean of the U of H Moore School of Music came up to me and said, "Hey, Jose, I want to offer you the full time job." I was like, "What?"
Dang, that's
So
when you
you
put
can
it up. I
imagine.
think you put it up on Facebook. Something's waiting for me now. So you already got it, brother. You don't know. That was a cool experience,
Man,
man. Me dio mucho gusto when I found that out.
gracias, gracias. So that's been a great fusion. We've also uh, performed with another a big choir from it's called Masterworks.
Uh huh.
We've also performed with the U of H choir as well, the guitar ensemble, the and and just so many other great opportunities with the Houston Grand Opera as well. So U of H is very connected, and I'm very pleased to be there and honored because there's so many opportunities that I would probably never have had a chance
Wow,
to
brother.
be part of.
Wow. Tú arreglas música, brother. Tú escribes música, right? So, leading to my next question. How do you go about arranging music for Mariachi Imperial de America? Is it more collaborative? Do you lead the creative direction? I mean, do you have original compositions? I'm pretty sure you do it, right? I think you wrote some for your dad, which I think is in Spotify and YouTube. Do you have any more, ¿cómo se dice? Música that you write out? ¿Cómo how do you start? How do you go about writing your music?
Well, I do have several musics. I have one song for each of my kids.
Oh,
El
really?
Suri Suri, his name's Suriel.
Right, right,
El
right.
Zayden, and it's an instrumental. And then my other son, El Zeshwa, El Zesh. And those are all instrumentals. So I love to compose. I'm
Oh,
very
okay.
inspired by, I always looked up to Pepe Martinez, Jose Hernandez,
Right.
and the big cats at La Hormiga. But when I think I don't know how others answer this, but I don't think there's a right way
Mm-hmm.
to start a song. I actually also wrote a song for a very a tragic thing that happened to this girl named Vanessa Guillen. She was
The soldier from Fort Hood.
the soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were in COVID, and my comadre, she's like, "Hey, compadre, why don't you write a song for Vanessa Guillen?" And I really didn't know who she was, honestly.
Mm.
So I was like, "Okay, who is she?" Boom, boom. Oh, wow, that's so she actually went to school where I grew up, but it wasn't the Chavez High School. But
Right.
I'm like, you know what, COVID, no estabas haciendo nada,
No,
right?
no, estábamos de huevones en la
So
casa, brother.
that is
Yeah.
and I started looking up I started looking up her history and stuff, and saw it's that situation, and well,
Yeah.
it was just more of like the wording was about how she had a dream to become something in the American life, and her parents were very proud of her, and
Right.
how tragically this happened. So that was my inspiration. I think if I wanted to say, it's it's easier for me to write music than to they both come nicely, right? But if I had to do something first, I'd do the music first.
Okay.
But I think in that case, I wrote the lyrics first, and then I added okay, what do I want this to be? It's a bolerito. Okay, it's a
Right.
bolero. So I did that, and the you always have to think about, do you want it in a sad key? You want it in what are the modulations? The
Right.
chord progressions. That's what makes everything dynamic in what you're trying to relay. So yeah, this is there's no right or wrong way. I'll start whatever song I'd like in different ways. And I remember one time there was a song that I was doing a guitar ensemble at my middle school, and it was
Yes, sir.
called Rainy Day, and it was really cool. It's a bolerito and blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden I said, "Man, let me put some lyrics." After about 3 or 4 years, and
Uh huh.
and uh, and so I wrote it, and I wanted to. My message was, I had these two students in high school that, oh my god, they were like in love, whatever,
Right.
they claimed that they were in love. So, and then there was a breakup, and then get back. It was dramatic, puro drama, the kids.
Yeah,
And
of
then so
course. Oh yeah.
I I made it about them.
Okay.
I got inspired, and then my father-in-law, my suegro, I'm like, man, how am I gonna word this? My suegro has a,
Yeah.
a very popular phrase. Dice, me imagino yo, me
Me
imagino
imagino
yo,
yo.
right? And that's the name. That's how I
That's the
titled this
title of the
song, and I
song.
included a
Wow. Wow.
me imagino, and it's yeah. So anyway,
Are
I
these
think the
public, brother?
inspirations
Are
come at
these
different.
on YouTube, or where can we find these?
Yeah, yeah, you probably find them on YouTube.
Do you
Just
have a YouTube channel,
look them up.
brother? Or I mean, how do we look? How do we find you?
Yeah, just look up Mariachi Imperial de America
There you go.
YouTube. Yeah,
Okay.
Houston.
Nice, man. Todavía me acuerdo, and this is Facebook también. I think it was during COVID and a little bit afterwards. You and Suri would get on a Facebook Live and get a guitarrón en vihuela. Hey guys, what songs quieren que les toquemos esta vez? And we would sit
Yeah.
there like, dude, I think I missed that. I really do because
Uh,
si prendes YouTube and lo pones en la
yeah.
esquina del teléfono, and I mean, you're just chilling and
Yeah.
listening to you guys sing. And he goes, oh yeah, I think that was
Uh,
nice. Do you guys plan to do
Thank
that in
you.
the near future, or ya se acabó ese?
No, I do.
Sí.
I'm busy. My son's busy.
Ah, okay.
He's in college. I mean, he's actually in the orchestra, so it takes up a lot of his time,
Okay.
and school, regardless.
Of course.
But when we're jamming, I say, "Hey, you want to go on Facebook?" And yeah, let's go, let's do it. So I love to do it because it kind of tests your. I like to ask, hey, ¿cuál les gusta? Well, if you don't know the
Right.
lyrics, you bring them up. Ya sabes las canciones. So we always have a great time, and that's what it's about. I think
Right.
bringing people together, sharing your passion with the music, and no se te hace pesar like, oh shoot, ya pasó una hora. Oh my god, it's time to go or whatever.
Yeah.
Ya son las 11.
That's the last
But
one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thank you for bringing that up, and that's inspirational
Yeah, I don't
for
think
us
I'm the only one,
to
brother.
enjoy.
Hay mucha gente because
Gracias.
you would get a bunch
Uh,
of little, the icons, bloop, 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 bloop,
uh,
and y'all guys would sing it. And as hard as I would choose the song, but y'all would, ya lo sacaban. So I was like, these guys, I mean, se avientan. I miss that. I really do, man. Pero gracias for that.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully you and Sudi pick that up again. It's really
Of
entertaining. Me
course.
imagino que la gente que lo sigue, les gustaría, brother.
Gracias,
Qué
gracias.
bueno, me gusta eso. Rapid fire questions, right? For them personal, right off the bat. Favorite mariachi song to perform, brother?
Favorite mariachi man. To me, La Negra never gets old.
Never.
It never gets old. People ask for it, but it's one of our favorite too. Que la toques bien, right? Como debe de ser.
Obviamente.
I love it, man. I love
Yes, sir.
that's my to go song, Pero there's other songs. I love when my son sings. He likes to sing as well. So Como Fue is one of
Right. Okay.
my great boleros. So if you want to talk about boleros, um, so I it's just so many. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. That's perfect. That's the hardest instrument to master in mariachi, in your opinion.
In mariachi. Well, my respects for trumpets. I tried teaching trumpet one year that came when I was teaching in middle school. We se nos fue un maestro and we had to get another one, but that teacher couldn't come and no se hizo. And I was stuck teaching trumpet, and I learned. My dad played trumpet, pero nunca me enseñó.
Right.
But and so I started teaching, and I learned so much, man. And the range, to get up there,
Oh man, mis
my respect.
respetos.
So for me, in my eyes, it's
Es la
trumpet.
trompeta. And we
We
always, and you know it, we're always looking for what in the mariachi? Trumpet players.
You're right. Se
Otra vez,
batalla.
students, kids, if you're listening and if you want to get into mariachi, if you love this, pick up the trumpet. Aprendan, learn the trumpet. Tell them, Mr. Longoria.
You will no te va a faltar trabajo. I
Oh no,
promise you.
they're gonna be calling you. Can you
Well,
help me out?
but obviously, like any other instrument, make sure that
Learn
you
it
do the best, learn it
exactly. Learn
right,
it
and
right. There
you
you
could
go.
teach. Pero man, trumpets are very hard to come against. Es solo
Right.
que se batalla nomás. So I'm blessed, and I have two trumpets,
Okay.
and pero mi hijo ahorita está tocando violín, Suriel, but he plays all the instruments. But
Yeah, I've seen him play. He
when I
plays
need
all the
somebody, hey,
instruments.
Suri,
Right. Right.
tráete la trompeta because I need you this weekend. So
That is
ese
cool.
es el comodín.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fácil. You already know, brother. Moving along, a country you haven't performed in yet, but would love to.
country I haven't performed yet.
Yet, porque pues
Ah,
ya, like you said, it's internacional. I mean, you guys have been everywhere.
see. Well, we went to India, Macedonia, Albania, Armenia. I would love to go to Japan though. Japan. I've
Japan.
been to Canada. También hemos tocado en Canadá. In Japan would be nice, or South Korea. I don't know, any other country really that I feel that I could learn a song in their
Okay,
language
there you
and be able
go.
to play.
Sí, qué
Que
bonito.
that is
See,
musically
see
because
your
that's
vision. Your
I,
vision is different than other mariachis. Somewhere that I can know that I can pick up a song para tocarles en el mariachi. Wow, man, that's
yes,
awesome.
yes,
Wow,
yeah.
nice, brother.
Go
Qué
try new
bonito.
foods. Go try
Y
new
también,
foods.
como comemos
Así
some more
es.
foods, right? What's on
Siempre,
your playlist, brother?
pensando,
Ah,
pensando en la
en la
tragazón,
tragazón.
right?
Moving along, what's on your playlist? What's on your playlist that people wouldn't expect? So you
um,
listen, me imagino que country, rock, metal, right? Todo.
man, I love rap.
Rap, really? Okay, no, ya somos dos.
I, but I like the old rap.
Sí,
I'm very particular about the curse words, right?
the
Because I
fifth
think,
word. You know fifth word. Ahí es donde salió Scarface. If
yeah,
we want to go old school, that's our old school guys.
es lo mismo like the music de hispanos ahorita que you know if it's vulgar and
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
not clean, it
yeah.
takes away the beauty of the music
Right,
part, right?
right.
My respects to everybody.
Of
Está
course,
bien, but
of
that's
course.
just you're asking me what I like. But
Right.
for example, I'm a Beastie Boy guy, man. You know, and
Wow.
they're not even African
Yeah.
American.
No, you're right,
But
right.
back then it was Ghetto Boys,
Of course.
LL Cool J, Tone
Hmm.
Loc. You know, like that's
Funky Cole
I'll put
Medina,
that.
todas las eso.
Funk,
This is for the Kid
yes,
Frost.
yeah,
I mean, we can go
Kid
on.
Frost,
Wow. Wow.
yes, sir.
That's
So, and I'm gonna tell you something,
yes, sir.
Javier. Because I used to listen to that when I was in middle school and high school, I como que me llenó un poquito. I don't know if I
Sí.
told you, but we've done two rap videos. One for a guy named Fat Tony. I got a
Uh-huh.
chance to, if you look it up, Fat Tony se llama oh my god, Gambling Man.
Okay.
Y luego, so I did a mariachi arrangement. It was actually it was it was a rap song. So we did
Wow.
that, and then we did a little bit over a year ago. We did a rap song for Mexican OT, who's a big guy here in Bay City.
Houston. Okay.
So, man, those are super. I love them, man, because
Right,
it's
right.
my
Y luego necesitas
when I like to
arreglos.
hear
I
from
gotta
them.
listen to this.
Oh
Si
man, yeah.
necesitas arreglos, I gotta get there. Wow, man.
Yeah, and
That's
I
awesome.
and I just we just did a project. I don't know how it's gonna come out, but Warren is gonna come out. But a couple of months ago, I also did another rap collab for the Houston Texans. So, a ver cómo sale ahí, how they pick it and stuff.
Wow, man. That's cool. If you weren't a musician, Maestro Jose, what would you be doing?
If I was not a musician, man, I
I didn't
I
mean to
don't know.
catch you off guard.
My dad was a construction worker. Hacía los techos de aluminios for the patios,
Okay.
for for the cars to park.
Yes, sir.
Me llevaba a fuerza. So I learned how to do that. And he's like, "Hey, I'm bringing you here because I want to teach you how to work. If you don't want to go to school, this is what you're probably gonna do." And that's probably what I would have done, you know.
Wow,
But
construction work.
besides being a musician, remember I was a math teacher, so
Oh,
I
okay.
loved math. So
Math. Órale,
I was a
you're good with
middle school math
numbers.
teacher.
Oh,
I taught 7 years math, and I love it. I love that too. So
that's awesome, brother. Now that you touched the topic for the Texans, yeah, I see you guys are performing when it's a football season in Houston for the home games in the Reliant. Is it still Reliant?
it's the energy
The Energy, okay? Because when we went there for the Mariachi invitation, it was Reliant. Now it's Energy, okay? Energy Stadium.
in
How is that, brother?
energy.
NRG, pardon.
Mira, so in 2022. By the way, do you see the
I
2022?
see that. I see. Let me put you in a. There it
Y
is.
dice Longoria.
Longoria, yeah. Trumpet.
I'm gonna get off subject a little bit, but I
No, no, go
wore
ahead.
this because in 2022, my dad passed away.
Okay.
2022, and I
Okay.
got these moños and my family, my cousins, and everybody. We all wore this one for that.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
besides him passing away, which is super special, you know, because I always say that it's the gift of life, pero también the remembrance and the celebration of life.
Right,
So
right,
it was a
right.
sad day, but it was beautiful. But
Okay.
that same year, we actually won the mariachi competition, which you won before in the rodeo. Remember?
in 2017, yes, sir.
Ah,
Sí,
no,
lo
you guys were
ganamos in
amazing, man.
20. We shared the stage. We can elaborate a little bit. I'm gonna be honest here, but I was drunk as a skunk on stage. Remember, we got lit up in el backstage with con el OG
Eh,
los hermanos Guerrero. Remember those OG one, OG
no,
two?
no me incluyas en tus
No,
tus
no te
problemas. No,
incluyo.
no, no,
You brought the bottles. No, no te creas. No, no, no. We had
no,
fun.
no.
We had fun.
It's
Yeah.
fun. It's always fun. It's always fun.
Yes, sir.
So that year we won in 22, and so eso fue como en marzo,
Yes, sir.
right? So it was really great experience. So fast forward in June, they contacted me from the NRG and said, "Hey, this is the Houston Texans, and we're looking for a mariachi. We want to start a mariachi for the Houston Texans, blah blah blah." And you guys came up. I know that you guys won the rodeo, blah blah. So that kind of triggered
I see.
the
Open the
initiation of
door.
that.
Yeah.
We want the best, so you guys are the best, and that's what we know.
Nice.
So we fast forward. Long story short, they got us, and we said, look, we only won like 2 games to feature you guys. That bueno. So we were featured in the first game, like during like the a little bit one of the quarters on the field. Man, people went crazy,
Well,
man.
it's Houston, brother.
Dude, it was a huge hit,
Yes,
and
sir.
they said, "Hey, can you guys play for another 6 games?" And we did. So
Wow.
that
Man,
that
what a
whole season
blessing.
we played for about. It was a blessing, man. The end of that year, they're like, "Hey, dude, we want to get some uniforms for you guys.
Man.
Can we start on that to give us a budget or the design?" So we worked on some designs and stuff, and they bought them. Last year was our second season, and here we are again, man. We're so blessed. So we play at
Man.
every home game. We
Yeah,
play
yeah.
at every
Home
home
game, yeah.
game, and so yeah,
Wow, man,
estamos
that
ahí,
is
gracias a
awesome,
Dios.
brother.
Still
Qué
continue.
bonita experiencia for your guys. That, yeah, I watch. Of course, the football season comes up, and sometimes during the game that
Yeah,
the Houston's, I'm a 49er fan. I mean, pero igual, vivo in
yeah.
Dallas, so you have to watch the los sorry ass Cowboys
I know.
play. And I think you guys have a better team. Hey, this is a podcast. This is our opinions. Pienso que los Houston
Yeah,
Texans are way better than these sorry Cowboys because they'll probably never do anything. You guys have already gone, I think, farther. Anyway, ahí le paramos. But anyway, I watch you guys y trato de ver before you guys go into commercials. And I can see you guys on the sidelines or like halftime. Y salen. I was like, man, there goes Longoria. So
yeah.
that is cool to see, man.
Uh,
That you guys are enjoying
uh,
that. At the NRG.
is it-
Yeah.
Everything that comes up, Javier, it's a blessing, man.
Yes, sir.
El, decía
Yes,
mi
sir.
padrino en paz descanse,
Yeah.
es Chuy, Chuy.
Jesus. Jesus.
That's right.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the person. That's the only one Almighty. So we are blessed and just very appreciative of everything that comes. So
Yes, sir. Qué bien, Mr. Longoria. Moving along, how long? I know the very first time I met you was back in the late 90s because I graduated in high school 96. I think it was during or be a little bit or little after I graduated que nos vimos por primera vez at the Houston Stock Show and Rodeo for the Houston Mariachi Invitational. You guys have been there, of course, you guys from Houston. So you got invited many times to that invitation. How many times did you go and placed before you actually won the final?
so I'm gonna tell you, we probably have gone about a total of 8 times. Okay,
Okay.
starting in '97,
Okay, so that's the
no
first time
place.
we met then. I remember the first, okay, 97. Cool.
'97 didn't place. '98 we got first place, and that was really quick because it's so difficult,
Okay,
man.
so you
This
had
is
already
really
won.
in '98.
So 91 you won it
In
all?
'98 we won all of it. Yes,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that. So you have two trophies then.
yeah. Well, let me tell you.
Okay.
So we win another 3 times, y nada, and we didn't even place to the
Damn.
to the goal.
Right.
And then we went back again in 2015, 16, 17.
Okay.
and And one of those times we didn't place, and in the other two times we got second place.
Okay.
So in total, we've
Well, hold
actually got
on. Let explain. Where second place? Where do you go for second place? When you place,
no,
remember, okay, so second place you play in the stadium, right? Because the ones
yeah,
that
yeah,
don't place, we have to let the audience know. The competition, it consists of, I think, 6 or 7 groups, if I'm not mistaken, or six,
well
right?
now it's, I think now it's five.
Okay, now it's 5. Back then was 6. But the
Mm,
ones that place, or I'm sorry, the ones that don't place, right? Because it's by judging, stage performance, y luego la música selection. So with that
yeah.
being said, if you don't place, you get to play in the fairgrounds of the stock show and rodeo. When you place the finalist, which is the runner-up, right? The last two runner-ups, you get to
Mm,
compete inside the stadium for the crowd. All right. So it's not easy. What I'm trying to get at is que no es fácil. And then we've been up against Los Arrieros, right? We've been up against Pan Am. We've been against people from California. I mean, these are top-notch groups. So for you to go on there as many times and at least to win twice, that's a big accomplishment, brother. So
oh
continue
man.
with your saying
No,
about
that's
going there.
that's it. No, it is tough because just like in any competition, it's always, you don't know what the judges are looking at,
Right.
and whatever. So, but out of the about the 8 times that we won, we got three second place and two first.
Órale.
So we feel so blessed again to have made it. Once you make it, like you said, to like the top two,
Right.
you've done pretty well. So, um,
Yes, sir.
and then it's up to the crowd. It's up to the
The
crowd.
only
It's, and
thing,
it's tough,
mhm.
no.
Yes, sir. My opinion, Maestro Longoria, the only thing that I feel, okay, it's not fair. I mean, I'll be straight up here. Cuando hay all female group, I mean, and you know it because we've gone up against them. I mean, I felt as though we did good. I mean, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm just gonna lay it out. Mariachi Cobre can go without people knowing who Mariachi Cobre is. Mariachi Vargas, Mariachi Sol de Mexico
Hmm.
can go, right? But if there's a female mariachi group, it's over for them, no matter how good they play, because La Raza at the end. So, right? Or how do you feel about that, Maestro?
You're gonna get me in trouble.
But you
No, I'm just
know,
kidding.
this is an
No, no,
opinion. This
no.
is an opinion. I mean, this is a podcast. I mean, it's
Mira,
no es, yeah, an official. Yeah,
nosotros los hombres no estamos tan guapas así como
exactly.
ellas, right?
Exactly.
No, 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 no. There's talent, right?
Right.
Number one, if they got to that place, it was because of the judging, right? So
Right.
they deserve to be there.
Right.
With the crowd, it's only to say it could be a little unfair.
Right.
Um, with that, now with that going said,
Hmm.
when you go into you remember you only have 2 minutes to
Right.
convince the crowd
Yeah.
that you have a good show. So
Right.
song selection
Right.
is super important.
Super
So
important. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you another one
Mm-hmm.
that you probably haven't thought about.
What's that?
I want to say like 9.5 out of 10 times. If you're a group that goes first
The-
and the
it,
group that goes second,
it's called the flip of
second
the
one
coin thing,
always
man.
wins.
See, the last the el último, it's
That's
heads or tails. Heads goes first, tails goes second, right? I mean, o como tú
yeah.
cojas. So
You
you're
flip.
right. ninety
No.
percent of the time, perdón, el mariachi that goes in the last has the upper hand. That's
No.
let's be
Eh,
fair.
Let me tell you why. And now I'm speaking
Go ahead.
because
Yeah, no, no, no.
it's
You're
happened to us. It's happened to another group as well. So um, the reason why the sound system they can't get it right the first group,
exactly
the second
feedback.
group.
Mhm. Ya lo tienen
So
perfect.
yeah, it doesn't, and they
Yeah.
do a sound check. They do a sound check,
Of
but
course. Yeah.
so that's just so there's so many. We can't just focus on one thing, but
No, no, no.
um,
That's a
it's
competition, ¿verdad, hermano? I mean, again, and what I take
yeah,
about, lo que saco de ahí, and yeah, this is just blah, blah, blah. He said, she said, y lo escuchamos. Pero what I take out of everything is the experience. So the
yeah,
mariachis, if you get invited there, if you're listening to this mariachi podcast, it, you go and you place perfect, you go and have fun perfect, because what you, lo que yo y Mr. Longoria ahí lo que hacemos is we jam out, we hear, we nos invitamos, we have those jam sessions at the hotel. We can drink if you're old enough, right? And then we have fun. The most thing is, what I like is we created memories and friends more than anything. So the
Yes.
mariachis, if you
Here we
get it,
are.
yeah, exactly. So mariachis, and my next guest, if he's listening or watching, is this el maestro from Alice, Texas, from el mariachi, in Alice. He knows a bunch about the mariachi history, and he's got pictures,
Are you
and
talking about John Vela?
yes, that's right, Maestro Vela. He's like an
Un
encyclopedia,
saludo.
yes, of mariachis. He's got dates. He's got pictures, and knows them. You show him a picture that like you've never seen, and he'll, oh, that was in 1962. They were like, I'm like, wow. So I think I'm gonna bring him onto the mariachi podcast here virtually, like we're doing
Awesome.
now. That would be an awesome. But
Oh yeah.
that's where we met them as well. That was where I met them too, and awesome group, man. And it's just an overall experience. So hopefully that tradition keeps going in Houston for the Houston Stock Show and Rodeo
Hmm.
for that mariachi invitation, right? It's awesome. It's something to take in.
Yes, sir.
Que bueno, maestro. So moving along now, we're gonna go into your family legacy and questions, right? So my first question is, or just in general, Jose. I'm sorry, your siblings, Jorge and Adrian, also accomplished musicians, right? What was it like growing up in a house so full of music?
You know, one of the things I remember, my dad, he was very smart man. So just we were talking about trumpets is always they're everybody wants them because
Right,
están muy solicitados. So my dad, he would get a phone call and say, "Hey, Juanito." They used to call him Juanito. His name was Adrian, but
right.
they would tell him Juanito. It was in the music world. Juanito, necesitamos un trompeta. ¿Nos puedes ayudar? He goes, yeah, I can help you. Pero I'm gonna bring my two sons. Tienen 9 y 10 años, you know. My brother
Right,
George nomás era un año menos. No, but it's que we don't need them, you know, and quién sabe qué. Bueno, pues si
right.
los quieres, está bien. Si no, no puedo ir, you know. So they would take them, and that's how we started, you know.
Wow.
So my dad was like that. So my brother and I started pretty young, 9, 10 years old, and we did talon and in the cantinas, in the
Yes, sir.
restaurants, in the gigs. Todo, 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 todo.
Yeah.
We saw things that we shouldn't have seen. You know, también. So,
Yes,
pero,
sir.
but we're concentrated on the music, which we're so thankful for. I mean, the repertoire is really immense. And then my brother, was he's 14 years younger than me, so he started a little bit when I was already in high school and
Yes, sir.
kind of in college, and yeah, he joined the group también. So just being around it, you know, in our parties, no, nunca faltaba la música. You know, you had a birthday party or whatever, so ahí estábamos. So it was something beautiful.
That was nice, man. Qué bueno. Your late father, clearly had a huge influence in you and your brothers. What kind of legacy did he leave you? Not just musically, but personally.
Mira, my dad was always very number one, very helpful to
Hmm.
people. So when my dad got here to the United States, um, he was a butcher, and
Órale.
then yeah, he was a butcher in una matanza. And one day he said he went to go to a restaurant
Yeah.
after they went to some club dancing, you know, whatever.
Órale.
He was, he was still he was still there, and then yeah, they went to a restaurant. Estaba un mariachi, and then hey, dale chance a este, que some one of his friends, whatever.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah, so that's how he started here. So he was proud to be a musician, you know.
See?
That's that's one thing that we grew up with. The other thing, you know, he met a lot of people from San Luis. No, no, not San Luis, but from allá del rancho de Guanajuato, and que son de rancho, you know, it's just
Yes,
people
sir.
here that, you know. So that became a community, and you know, sometimes there's always tragedies, que se mató un chavo, whatever. So
Right.
my dad was always, hey, vamos a juntar dinero para mandar este chavo a Mexico to, no. So he was always helping people, like
Right.
that kind of. He was a great activist, if you would, you know.
Right.
So that. that to me was a big thing to see. And man, when his at his funeral, we probably had a good 500 people.
Wow.
And so the family, we decided to get him a carriage. So from the funeral home, it was at the same cemetery, but it was about a half a mile walk. So it was, we did a parade. All the mariachis were playing, and we were walking behind the carriage and with the
Yes, sir.
horse. And man, that was, when people come to your funeral,
Yeah.
you did something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
besides the music part, that's what my dad touched so many lives, and they knew him for his great heart that he had.
Wow, man. That is so he impacted a lot of people. I think you posted it on Facebook as the Jorge did, and there was a lot of people. So your father touched a lot of lives, and he was a very important person to many people. It's fair to say
Mm.
that took place. So, do you remember the moment you realized that this is just something that we do as a family, or is this my calling?
Man, that's a great question, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna answer that because, I, as I mentioned, I was a math teacher, so I
Right.
really didn't want to teach music. So it was like, no, 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 no.
Say,
This
say.
is too easy it comes easy for me. But man, because I taught before. But anyway, I decided to do math, and I was like, okay, cool. Math is gonna be easy.
Right.
No, it wasn't.
No.
But so I I got they that school in the middle school found out I was a mariachi, and they're like, hey, why don't you start a mariachi? Blah, blah, blah. Like, está bueno. So we
Right.
had one class and then five mariachi classes. The following year, I said, let's create a beginner, and we had an advanced. So two math. No, my second year, two math. I'm sorry, two mariachi and four. So we did that for about 7 years, and then man, my students were. I was blessed. I had great students. So after about 6 or 7 years that I was doing mariachi, I started seeing how impactful that was.
Right.
And they started going to the high school, which I then went to the high school. And that's when I figured out, like, man, because these kids, a lot of these kids, man, they weren't even wanting to go to school. They were bad in their other classes,
Right.
skipping, de todo. But they, like, really, like, honestly, my class was sometimes a dump ground. Me echaban gente que didn't even want to be in mariachi, right?
Right.
I said, look, just give it a chance. So it's a lot of motivation, a lot of psychology.
Right.
No
Right.
más, mira, dale aquí, boom, boom, boom. And I was blessed to turn many lives around,
Hmm.
to say, through mariachi, now this kid
Yeah.
is doing something good. Why? His grades went up. He's coming to
Right.
school. He's motivated to be here. That's when I said, this is my calling.
Wow.
This is God put me here to
Right.
share my talent, my gift that He gave me, and through this is how I'm gonna do it, and that's how I did. I was at HIC for 21 years doing that, and
Wow.
that
So you
was
don't
and
you don't
now
do
now
high.
we're
Uh-huh. You don't do the
go ahead.
public school anymore. I'm sorry. You just do university.
No, that's right. So after
Oh, okay.
21 years,
Uh-huh.
that's when they reached out from university. Man, that was my first job at
Okay.
middle school and the high
Okay.
school.
Okay.
For 21 years, I started there, and that's all I knew.
Okay.
Bro, when they asked me, hey, we need a resume for U of H,
That's
I
all.
didn't have a
Only
resume. I
got
hadn't done a
one.
resume. Like,
Nomás
like,
tengo la escuela. This is it. But hey, 20 years,
but
it's a lot, brother. I mean, it spoke
yeah,
for itself, ¿verdad?
yeah.
Wow, wow.
So it
That's
was hard. It was hard for me. It was a bittersweet. The sweet was like, okay, if I leave, man, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave something that I've created. It was something really special for the community. I was offered so many other jobs, but I never left because they were always very supportive. And then I'm like, well, if I leave, what's the good? Well, now that I'm getting older, I thought to
hmm
myself, I was like, well, man, I want to influence the older generation so that so that I can prepare students for future mariachi teachers, and that's how I
right,
thought about it. And to impact in a different level, in a collegiate level, right?
right.
So that's where I'm at. I feel good where I'm at now because we're also preparing students, and I actually go to more schools. A lot of, like, I probably go to about 15 schools around the Houston area
hmm
to go do workshops and help them and build those relationships. And so now, the University of Houston Mariachi program has become kind of the center of the mariachi,
Yes.
to kind of like, hey, we can help you. So how can we help you? Let me go out to service, your kids if you need a workshop or
Right.
something, and we're there to do that as well.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Man. Qué bonito. So, how do you balance preserving the tradition with giving your kids, right, or students space to create their own musical identities, especially Mr. YMZ, las voy a llamar así, Zuri y su hermanito. So, how do you, cómo les das la libertad de hacer eso? How do you manage that?
Well, I
Do
think
they
the
have
most
their
important
own?
thing here, you
Yeah. Do they have their own like that? I want to do this. I want to do it this way because la razón that that question come up is because I seen he went to a competition. Where was this at, brother? It was Tucson. Was it the Tucson?
just recently, what,
Yes. He had a nice. He was rocking that like purplish suit.
in the valley? Oh,
And
you aquí
in Texas.
in McAllen,
Oh, and
McAllen.
McAllen. Okay, okay, okay. And I see
Mm.
he's trying to do his own thing because you don't. Everybody's traditional, right? Black,
Yeah.
red, and he. I look, I'm like, man, that's something. I said that is so freaking cool. So his identity is like, this is what I wanted. He's taking it to another level. Does it come from you? Do you let him roam free? Like, do your thing?
Nah, man. I let him do his own thing. Like, for
Okay.
example, him,
Uh huh.
he's like, Dad, I like this color. I want this color suit. So he
Hmm.
knows what he wants.
Okay.
I just help him,
Okay.
and if he falls, hey, gonna. So I was able to contact the our sastre in León, Guanajuato.
Hmm.
Saludos para Magali, Sastrería Trajes León.
Nice.
Este, so man, I told her, look, this is the color I want. Can you do something? Look, I have this color. Perfect. So la botonadura I ordered from. Actually, that suit,
Uh huh.
I, he wanted it, and my wife's like, man, nah. We had already got him a suit in December
Okay.
for another competition, and like, hey, they're not cheap, but my
No,
son,
no.
to me,
God, that's expensive.
so I ordered it behind his back, and I said, no, Dad, just use
Oh,
this one. So and it was a surprise. It was
wow,
a
man.
surprise. He
That's so
liked it.
cool, man. That's que
Pretty
bien de
competitive.
todo. Those kids are following your footsteps. Do they plan on doing the same thing you're doing, brother? Or what are they leading towards their major in? What do they want to do if it's not mariachi?
So I have three children. My
Okay.
oldest is named Suriel. Suriel wants to teach as well.
Okay.
He's very talented. He plays all the instruments. I mean, he could do a lot of. He's got a great talent. So, but he loves orchestra and classical music. He's part of the orchestra as well. So he's a great musician. So he wants to teach. My second one, he's also U of H, and he wants to do finance, and so
Okay.
he's going to. He still plays the violin
He
as
likes
well.
that money.
Yes, yes, exactly. And then my little one, he actually says he wants to be a mariachi teacher as well.
Okay.
So he just graduated from high school, so he's gonna be a freshman this year at U of H. Man, so I
That's
might
so
have
cool,
three
man.
three nice bills to pay.
No. Maestro. No, no, it's good, man. That's good. That's good. So,
Yes, no
for
problem.
our outro, right? So, 60, 70 years from now, how would you like your legacy to be remembered, Maestro? When your kids, students, friends mention El Maestro Jose Longoria.
Man, I don't know. I really didn't haven't thought about that. That's a really deep question. We never know the future, but you're asking me how would I like it. Uh, you know, I'd like for there to be a school, uh, a Chabelo Longoria school
Nice.
of mariachi music,
Yes, sir.
uh, that builds, that not only offers teaching of mariachi music, but that helps out communities. It could be like uh, where there's tutoring or some kind of educational uh, excellence and backing, so that they can, or maybe even a vanguard school like I don't want to say a charter school, but a
Right.
special fine arts school where students can go there and for regular school, but that's mariachi that I would love that. And but at the end of the day, where the students are are being serviced with the
Yes,
best
sir.
education for both, but that also builds a community of excellence where people are helping each other, because that's what my dad taught. So that's what I try to follow, where it's not a competitive edge with others. It's more about how do I come to this art or a culture
Yes, sir.
so that I can work with others to continue to help the future. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
that's what I would love. Que no sea competitive. It's just helping continue to help pass on the next
Yes, sir.
generation, in the
Yes,
next.
sir.
Así.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that was nice, maestro. Thank you, for all the, la información que nos has dado. I think it's nice to have, pues un maestro de la universidad más que nada, pues, alguien
Gracias.
como tú. I've learned a lot from you and your guys down in
Oh,
Houston,
thank you.
and it's been an awesome journey so far, and we look forward, ¿verdad? A ver si un día nos encontramos de nuevo en la Invitational de Houston, o si no, igual cuando me dé la vuelta. I like to go to Galveston a lot. I know
Ya
you like to
sabes.
fish there as a matter of fact, ¿cómo te fue ayer, brother? Inform me.
No, pues no hubo nada. Es como
No.
el talón. Es como el
Y...
talón. A veces no hay nada.
No, no
Pero
agarraste.
mira, I always say when you go fishing, to me it's a huge blessing because I get to go away from my work, go
Right.
away from the city,
Sí.
sitting down with the water and just chilling. It's a peace of mind.
You
So
relax your
that
mind.
in itself,
Yes, sir.
yeah, the fish is the icing on the cake. So, but it
Okay.
was cool. So está perfecto. Y te espero para que vengas para
Thank you,
llevarte,
brother.
¿eh?
Yeah, I remember I went when una vez fui que estaba visitando Galveston. We had fun. I think your brothers and your padrino was there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Your late
exactly.
padrino,
Yeah.
que en paz descanse. It was fun that day, brother. You're an avid fisherman. You know how to fish, brother. If you guys want to see him fish, go to his Facebook page. You see some big fishes that him and his brothers catch. Pues, brother, muchas
Sí.
gracias. I would
Gracias.
like to touch over the photos, but I think we went over the time limit, and I know you got things to do. Pero muchas gracias una vez más, Mr. Chabelo, Mr. Longoria. Mucho éxito para tu grupo y los muchachos allá. Un
Gracias.
saludo a los que me conocen y a los nuevos que están ahí. Igual, the people watching in the Mariachi podcast. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Jose Longoria, thank you. Pues, ¿qué más te puedo decir?
Gracias.
Don't forget to send me in your email, your address. I got a little presents for you
Oh, thank you.
por estar
Gracias.
aquí, for being in the podcast. Thank you, Mr. Jose Longoria. It's been a
Gracias.
pleasure for
Javier,
being you. Yeah.
thank you so much for
No.
having me. I wish you all the best en lo que estás haciendo y mucho éxito con eso the podcast
Yes,
y
sir.
también con tu grupo y todo lo que hagas. Un
Gracias,
abrazo.
maestro. Thank you. Te lo agradezco, muchachos. Muchas gracias. Thank you. Y pues para la próxima. Thank you.
Gracias. Bendiciones.